there was a UFO frenzy in Germany. Onlookers saw mysterious lights in the sky over Berlin. This is the country, of course, that had the Foo Fighters, the UFOs in the Second World War. This is on Sputnik News today. Strange night spectacle. What some described as a string of pearls or fairy lights in the sky prompted Berliners to search for answers on the internet, Googling UFO sightings and meteors or sharing their concerns that themed organizations, local media reports, a string of lights floating over German capital and neighboring Brandenburg over the past few nights and early in the morning. And it worried the locals, of course. Now, this looks exactly like what we saw over California, the video before this one, where they witnessed, thousands of people, hundreds of people witnessed it, and it was at night. It was, you'll see the video before this one. It's only a minute and 20 seconds. You should see it because it looks just like this one. It was like a string of lights horizontal, hovering very close to the trees behind a house. I mean, very close, very low flying. And it was stationary, even though the lights were somehow, it wasn't an airplane because it was an airplane in the distance that you see in that video. It was, I don't know what it was. Was it a group of, was it a main light and some drone lights around it? I don't know if it was one craft or many together, flying on a horizontal formation, but without noise and without movement. Now, this string of lights floating over the German capital of Berlin and Brandenburg over the past few nights and early in the morning, and it's worried locals because they don't know what it is. The local outlet Morgen Post, meaning Morning Post, Google searches for UFO sightings, meteor or meteorite, spiked while platforms dedicated to UFO sightings, of course, registered reports that users described as a string of pearls or fairy lights. The Central Exploration Network of Extraordinary Sky Phenomena, or CENAP for short, noted that they had recently received unusual number of calls about this. The calls have increased greatly, they said. Many men and women are worried or surprised by the lights and their form. Its representative Hans-Jörg Kohler told the outlet, but the explanation of this unusual night show is not in fact otherworldly. It turns out that it was not aliens who lit up the sky worrying locals, but okay, all right. It was billionaire Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlinks. The famous fireballs were its satellites, which the company launched, of course, in mid-November as part of the global program of Starlink, which began in May and is designed to provide high-speed broadband internet to the world. German Aerospace Center DLR warned already last week that Musk's satellites weighing more than 200 kilograms each, that's about 400 some odd pounds each, because they're half a ton, I would say, will be seen as fairy lights over Germany. The ESA, the European Space Agency, also confirmed over the past few days Starlink satellites have been visible very clearly over Germany. Even though an alien invasion and any danger for Berliners is off the table, the Starlink satellites can still pose a threat to other celestial bodies. Because there's danger of a collision with other celestial bodies. It does exist. This is what a spokesman for the Starkenberg Observatory in Happenheim said. A collision with other celestial bodies, meaning what? Natural meteors? Asteroids coming in? I have no idea what they mean by that. So that was what the hype was about. It was actually the Starlink satellites over Germany. But you can see the video before this one having to do, there's a link to that one over the video taken over the house in California, very low lying, silent, very weird. Anyway, you can see that as well. I'll leave links below for you for this. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These